In this video, I would like to go a little bit deeper in the topic that I touched on in the introduction video, and that is the difference between ethnicity, nationality, and ancestry. In the first video, I gave a brief overview, but in this video, this is where we slow down and really unpack what these words really mean. Understanding these differences is one of the first steps towards understanding your identity and why so many of us have felt disconnected from it. So let's start here. Most people walk around with a very surface level sense of who they really are. Not because they're careless, but because the world has never given them the language or the space to go deeper. Identity becomes clearer when we understand the layers underneath it. So today, let's peel those layers back gently. Now let's begin with nationality. Nationality is the simplest layer. It's your legal relationship to a country, the country on your passport. Nothing more, nothing less. Think of it this way. Nationality is where you belong on paper, not who you are in spirit. So for example, I moved from Guadeloupe to Saint Martin, from Saint Martin to America. My nationality changed, but my identity remained rooted in the soil where my story truly began, which is where? Guadeloupe. Nationality is important because it shapes access. Access to what? Access to your rights, access to opportunities, access to your freedom of movement. But it's also the thinnest part of identity. You can change it through paperwork. You can inherit it simply by being born somewhere. It doesn't tell you who your people are. It doesn't tell you where your lineage comes from. So now let's move to the second layer, to ethnicity. Ethnicity is deeper than nationality because now we're talking about culture. Ethnicity is the food you grew up eating. It's the language that shaped your mouth, the traditions that you witnessed, the rhythm that shaped your household, the values you inherited by living inside a community. Ethnicity is not about paperwork. It's about environment. For example, a child born in Nigeria but raised in France may have Nigerian ancestry, but their ethnic identity might feel more French because that's the culture that they lived inside every day. Ethnicity shapes how you respond to conflict, how you express love, how you form relationships, how you think about family, even how you interpret respect. It's personal and it stays with you. But here's the key. Ethnicity can change. You can adopt a new culture. You can marry into one. You can grow into one. You can also outgrow one. So ethnicity is the culture you experience. So now let's go deeper into the layer you cannot change. Ancestry is the deepest root. It's your bloodline. It's your lineage. It's the people whose DNA you carry. It's the story you inherited, even if no one told it to you. Ancestry includes generational patterns, wounds, strengths, memories that live inside your body, survival stories. This is why sometimes you feel something, a fear, a gift, a talent, a sensitivity, and you don't know where it comes from. It comes from them, your ancestors, the ones who walked before you. Ancestry cannot be changed. You can't migrate away from it. You cannot outgrow it. You cannot rewrite it. You can only discover it and honor it. And sometimes you can heal it. So by now you've probably seen all of these three words, nationality, ancestry, ethnicity. They each hold a different kind of truth. But why do people confuse them? Let's talk about that. People confuse these terms because our history have been messy, complicated, and interrupted. Here are a few reasons why. Colonization blurred the lines. People were renamed, misclassified, and relocated. Migration mixes identity. A person can be born in one place, move to another, and descended from a third. Family silence. Some families never talk about lineage, sometimes because of pain, shame, or loss. Schools don't teach nationality. They don't teach about cultural identity or ancestral history. The media reduces people to one label, a single box, a single category, as if one dimension could ever hold the fullness of a human life. So yes, the confusion is understandable. But here's where we shift into something deeper. Why does understanding these differences matter? Spiritually understanding who you are is grounding. It helps you feel anchored, walk confidently. It helps you understand your gifts, understand your wounds. It helps you recognize patterns that didn't begin with you. When you confuse nationality with identity, you shrink. When you confuse ethnicity with identity, you limit yourself. When you ignore ancestry, you disconnect from your power. Identity begins where the noise stops and where truth begins. Emotionally, clarity brings peace. When you understand where you live, what you've lived inside, and where your blood comes from, you stop feeling lost. You stop trying to fit into other people's boxes. You stop comparing yourself to people who don't share your story. You stop apologizing for who you are. You can finally see yourself clearly. And when you see yourself clearly, you can walk into your purpose with confidence and direction. So before we end this episode, I want to leave you with a question. So out of these three layers, nationality, ethnicity, ancestry, which one have you mistaken for your identity? Sit with that, because the answer will open the door to everything that comes next. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post the next video. Sur ce, on se dit à la prochaine. See you soon.